she made it. Thank you so much, Rukky, for agreeing to do this with me. But as she will be telling us how to switch from a tier 4 visa to, from a tier 4 student visa to tier 2 visa. I know that for most of us immigrants like myself, staying in the UK is beyond, studying. Some of us want to fully come into the UK, and one of the ways for you to get your stay in the UK is to get a job that sponsors you to stay. Before then, you apply for your ILR, which is your indefinite leave to remain in the UK. But getting this job is not really easy, and you need to hear from the professionals that are into it, from life career coach.
I was once a student. Okay, so from the start, right? But unlike I was once a student myself, an international student, but that was before the post-study visa. So my route is not the same as
most of us. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't come to the UK just as a student. I had other reasons why I came to the UK. I came to join family, right?
Yeah.
And actually, who has been here for a very long time. However, I still had a plan, even though I knew I wasn't going to have a problem in terms of probably work, to be able to work. I still had a plan. I knew that my husband is in a very industry from myself, and most people around him, none of them are in my industry. They are not in my industry, so they were not able to guide me, or there was nobody that I could directly talk to guide me in that industry. So, but I had a plan from choosing the course I wanted to study. I had to make a research. I was already in the finance industry in Nigeria. I was working with Guarantee Trust Bank. I was already in finance. So I was already working in FinCon, which is what they call the financial department. So however, there are people that still come even from those kind of levels and still have to go, have to start all over again. But I knew that tech was the in thing, right? Tech was even though, at that time there was no switch to tier 2, but I still knew tech would always be relevant and has always been relevant, right?
Yes, because it's a growing industry.
So I was looking for a way to merge my finance. I'm an accountant, I'm chartered. So I'm like, okay, I need to merge the accounting field I am to tech. However, I didn't want to do tech from start to. I don't want to go and be doing, I don't know. So I had to do lots of research, and I found the course. The course was financial technology, so I felt, okay, this is a very good blend of my finance background and the future technology skills I intend to equip myself with. And then I searched for all the schools offering the course in the UK, and I applied to all of them. At that time, admission was really easy. You get your admission sometimes even immediately. Once you press up, when you check your mail, you would have had probably unconditional. You would have had the conditional offer. And then probably you need to, satisfy some other conditions to get the unconditional. So I got my admission from all the schools that I applied to. And the course was pretty new then. It was in most of the schools, it was the first batch or probably the second for some. So I got admission into those schools, and, I started counting down because I applied I applied probably maybe December the previous year. So I had to calm down, and there was no January admission in most schools. Then January admission just became something now, because it needs to bring in more people. So I had to wait till September, and wait till July before and
reply with CAS and all those things. Wow.
Using my optional courses and all that, I knew my strengths. I knew I had finance background. The course itself is a blend of banking, finance, and technology. So most of the courses I chose were the tech, because I knew that was what I wanted to learn. Yeah. So I had the finance. I knew finance. I knew banking. So I did most tech courses. It wasn't easy, but yeah, thank God I scaled it.
Wow.
I scaled it with the use of network, leveraging relationships, and all that. Putting all that together, it was nice. I just went for my delayed graduation just this weekend on Friday from 2 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, that's it. That's my journey, to be honest.
Wow, thank you so much. So now, moving on to the questions. For someone coming into the UK on a student visa with the intention to switch to tier 2, what do you think they should do to properly plan themselves?
So yeah, that is the stage where you can probably plan it right before. If you're coming in, you're still outside, and which is what I tell lots of my clients and my network members, right? You need to get it right from the start. From choosing that course that you intend to study in the UK, you need to get it right. And you need to do a research of probably the course you want to do. How relevant is it in the UK? Don't look at it just by the name of the course. Look at it first from what job role do you want to go for? Then look at the courses you need that you can take to be able to equip yourself with the skills required for that job role. And in also looking at the job role, then you need to look at the potential for the job role for sponsorship in the future, because that is the long-term goal. I mean, I'm sure most people that are coming as students already know that the long-term goal, or everybody would need to look for sponsorship jobs at some point, right? Either from the beginning if you're independent, or as soon as you are done with your studies, or as soon as you are done with your post-study visa.
Exactly.
At some point, you need it to move on to continue to stay in the UK, except if you're just coming,
you want to further your education, take another course.
Except you intend to go back. So it's better to get it right from the start, because I mean, how wonderful would it be if you get it right? Because I've supported lots of people, lots of dependents, right, who got sponsorship job in their first week in the UK, like in their first week. And that means that both themselves and the partner are able to move to the sponsorship job, and their 5 years starts counting even before they are done with their masters. And it means that both the students and the partner are able to do full-time jobs because they're no longer students. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah, of course I do.
So the first thing to do is to do that research of this country I'm going to. What courses do, what job role am I going for? When you think of, okay, this is the job role I'm going for, this job role, is it on the shortage list? There are two important lists. There's the shortage list and there's the full skilled eligible occupation list. The skilled worker eligible occupation list is the full list that has all the job roles that can sponsor your visa.
Yes.
The shortage list is an extract from that list that has the ones that are really high in demand and the ones that you don't need to fulfill 100% of the salary requirements. If you get a job from a company that has license that would pay you 80% of the going rates, you will be able to get sponsorship from that company or with that job. So you need to like have it in mind, this list in mind. You have this list in mind and check the occupation you are going for. Say for instance, you have background in finance now, or let's say you have finance in finance and you want to move to the UK. You need to look at, okay, what role am I going to do in the UK? Am I going to be an accountant, just an accountant? Am I going to be a financial analyst? Should I just become a data analyst? I mean, so you need to determine first what role you are coming to do in the UK. Then it's your potential for that role to offer you sponsorship, so that you can know, even if just the master's is not even enough for you to transition to that role. Because sometimes masters might not be enough. And let's say, for instance, you've already gotten admission, because I have lots of people too that are not that patient. They've already gotten admission in a course that's probably...
I know someone here to study logistics just because I want to jackpot. The person does not even care whatever the role is. The available role for that uni was logistics, and said that's what my agent could get me and I'm coming to do. And I'm like, okay, really, what's your end plan? So I can totally relate with what you're saying.
Agents gave me. I've heard that's what my agents gave me lots of time. And I used to wonder, why are your agents? But anyways, let's even say that you are already on a course that has potential for sponsorship. It is not the end. You can still strategize to, okay, let's say you need to do a research on other fields. For instance, say non-tech fields that probably don't require coding. And if you feel that you're adventurous, you could even go for the ones that require coding. For instance, software testing, software development, IT audit, and business analyst, project management, other fields, to be honest, that have high potential. And don't forget that when we are talking about sponsorship now, it's not even limited to just skilled worker visa. There's a scale-up visa that is also going to come up sometime in August. That is also going to be a sponsoring visa that will allow people to continue to also stay in the UK. You know, so, but the thing is that you need to be in a position where you can like have multiple alternatives or multiple options. And like I always tell people as well, while they're students, like they should also, the part-time jobs they do just to make ends meet should also be something that can open another door for them. I always tell my clients and my have about 3 doors. Like you're already doing care as a part-time job as a student. You are a tech person as well. So that tech that you are is option A. The health and care job that you are doing as a student, keep it as an option B that you can use to explore the health and care visa. Should you need it in future, right? So don't, and if there are other visas also that you are eligible for, say probably global talents, or say let's say you have a flair for running a business, you could also look at the scale up visa or the innovator visa. But the thing is, just keep multiple options open for yourself. Make sure that every step you are taking is towards you opening another option or opportunity for yourself if you
limit yourself
in the UK. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, you are. In fact, I promise you, what I've learned, you would not believe it. I know of the shortage occupation list, but that other skilled worker list, I've never checked it out until you just mentioned it now. So you are on point. That's to let you know that we are following. And I see someone asking to share the list. And someone said, I just type it on Google and I'm seeing it. Exactly, people. We can always bring this information to you, but we can't do everything for you. Like, this is very good. Someone already, search the list and they see the list of full skilled people, eligible visa. That is very fantastic. That's to show that we are not just talking to ourselves and people are actually listening. Thank you so much for that. So I'll go on to the next question from the list of questions that were sent to me. Someone said, how can student land job with Tier 2 sponsorship in the UK? I know you've even mentioned in part as you're discussing the first question. So, but how best can student land Tier 2 sponsorship?
Yeah, students, right? I always find, students, students have even more multiple opportunities because they're already in the UK, right? People who are they always have better chances to get these jobs than people outside. Most of the clients that have probably worked on their rebranding projects, right? Most of the issues that some of those in Nigeria or some of those in other countries, the problem they have is the fact that they are not currently here. While I've seen lots of people who are here and they always have better potential. If a company has license to sponsor, they will go ahead to interview you. They'll go ahead to interview you. If you are good, and they would sponsor your visa. Even if they will tell you when the one you have with you, when the visa you have with you expires, we would sponsor you. Or after your probation, probably 3 months time from, we would sponsor you. So how do students go about this? First of all, if we look at students, we pick students who put them into two segments. Those with dependents and those without dependents. Because if I go straight to talk about dependents, now those without dependents will feel, so it means that because I don't have dependents, I don't have dependents, so for those that don't have dependents, right, you have 2 years to play with. Not even 2 years, you have 2 years and some months to play with. Not play with, but to strategize with. While you are a student, right, you need to, of course, do this research that we're saying. Do a skill audit. Where do I fall? Let's say say for instance, you've gotten it right based on my first explanation to the first question. You're already in a field that has potential to sponsor your visa. Good for you. Then you need to rebrand, do your brand, right? Optimize your CV for the UK job market, optimize your LinkedIn, get yourself ready in terms of start putting yourself out there. Let recruiters start reaching out to you. Let it be that you are not available is the reason, but you are visible. You are seeing opportunities. Your LinkedIn is constantly bringing you opportunities that are relevant to you. That's one aspect of it. So after you have done that skill audit and you're already in the right path for yourself, rebrand your profiles, optimize your brand. And then after you have done that, from let's say when you even have 6 months to the end of your visa, right? Start actively applying to jobs, start actively connecting with recruiters and looking for jobs, because from 3 months before the end of your visa, you can switch to your Tier 2 visa. I have lots of testimonials that I'm saving for probably when I have the time to create the graphics and everything. But yeah, there are lots of people that are still 3 months into their 3 months into the end of their student visa, and they're already on Tier 2. They already have their Tier 2 visa submitted, application submitted. So from 3 months to the end of your student visa, you can, if you get a job that would sponsor you, you can apply to switch. So let's say you didn't have the time, you were juggling lots of things, and you are at the end of your student visa. You should apply for your post-study visa. That gives you 2 years to strategize for the sponsorship. When you get that 2 years, the first 6 months of the 2 years, just try to get a job, right? I mean, like I said, you must have planned that field that has the potential. That one should have come before the end of that shouldn't come during your post-study visa. Should have done any training you want to do, any boot camp you want to join. Should have done all that, get all your everything you need ready. Now you are job ready to start job from like day one of your post-study visa. So give yourself the first 6 months to get any job. And the reason why I say this is because when I say any job, not necessarily sponsorship job, but job within the field that probably you have just transitioned to, just to get your first UK experience and get your first experience in that field. The reason why I say this is because based on, I work with a lot of recruiters, and I have multi-channels where I share sponsorship jobs. So I can tell you categorically like the number of sponsorship jobs I see, and I can tell you in percentage the proportion of sponsorship jobs to other jobs. Let's say, for instance, there are 500,000 jobs in the UK. Out of those 500,000 jobs, 50K out of those jobs offer sponsorship. The remaining 40 don't offer sponsorship. And if 50K out of those jobs offer sponsorship, there are 300,000 people that need sponsorship within the UK. There are millions of people outside
the UK, and it's not only Nigerians.
Indians, Pakistan, Nigerian, Ghanaians, different, everybody, practically everybody. I can also apply, right? Yes. So there are millions of people outside who are also competing for just these 50K jobs. However, that 450K, the remaining 450K jobs would not advertise that they are offering sponsorship. They might actually offer sponsorship in the end if you've worked with them and they can actually confirm.
And they have COS, they have license to sponsor.
You are a valuable skill. So I would say that in the first 6 months, don't cap yourself to the 50K jobs. Like, explore the entire 500,000 jobs in the market in the first 6 months, right? Apply to jobs. That way you are able to actually compete for the right salary range and for the right jobs that you want. So compete for jobs. Don't be too sponsorship focused in the first few months of your post-study visa. And when you get that job, the moment you get that first job, update all your profiles with the job again, and set alerts now. Of course, give yourself, like I said, 4-6 months in that first job. Of course, you update your profile and put yourself in the market again. Don't leave the market at any point, right? But give yourself 6 months in that job to build experience, build relationship, and if luckily the company has license to sponsor, in that next 6 months, after like say first 3 months of the 6 months, start applying to sponsorship job. If recruiters are reaching out to you, they'll be reaching out to you from the place of this person works with this company that they probably right? No. They'll be asking you the way they, like, for instance, myself, like, I get nothing less than 5 mails a day, 5 calls a day, 5 LinkedIn DMs a day, separately, like a day. So, and when they come, I always tell them, I'm not searching. Are you offering sponsorship? I have people that need sponsorship. Do you get me? So if they are coming to you like that, you can always ask them, are you offering sponsorship? And that would be the way you. So if you are now able to get a company that would sponsor you, then you switch. And if you get a company that will sponsor you, probably that the offer is even less, then you can talk to, even from the 6 months, start talking to your manager as well about sponsorship. Even if they might try to apply for license for you.
Yeah, I've heard instances like that where the company don't sponsor, but the person was so valuable, they applied for license to sponsor.
Exactly. So the reason why I say give yourself 6 months is 6 months is enough for you to prove yourself in that company, prove yourself valuable, prove yourself as outstanding. So like from the moment you get a job, don't be laid back on complacent. Be very intentional to make yourself outstanding in the job so that you can get So that when you say you want to go, they will do anything to keep you. Let's say they don't now want to keep you, then you know that you can switch at any point. You yourself, you would have started building relationships with recruiters reaching out to you. That any recruiter that reach out to you at that point, sponsorship is the first thing you're telling them, right?
Yes, yes.
You have any other role that is offering sponsorship yourself? You can even reach out to recruiters. Are you offering sponsorship? So you know that you are strategically moving to sponsorship job, but you'll be interviewing from a place of confidence and from a place of, you know, I have a job. I'm not like desperate,
and you have the experience as well.
Another 1 year I have another 1 year, 6 months or so ahead of me. And I've seen loads of companies that don't advertise sponsorship, but that they don't advertise that they would sponsor, but the sponsor if they see that, you know, you are valuable, even if you have not worked for them before. So yeah, that's the way to go if you are not. So I mean, after that first 6 months, you can even switch to another job that will pay you higher, that does not have sponsorship, for another 6 months again, and then leave the remaining 1 year to just like, okay, sponsorship is what I'm doing, but at least you are improving your life either by getting the sponsorship after the first 6 months or getting the higher pay, put yourself in the level you're actually supposed to be, and then you can get sponsorship. It's not like it's easy, right? But if you're already in the UK and you're getting UK, you have your UK experience, I think it's easier to get sponsorship. So that's for those that don't have dependents. If you now have dependents, from the start too, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from anywhere you are, make sure that the person that has potential to work and work in a field that will give sponsorship is the dependent. I always tell people that let the person that has less potential, or probably, I mean, the two of you might have potential, but if you wait, okay, probably, I really would not impose who should be the students, who should not be the student. But I mean, you have to get it right, even from
like who likes to study,
who should be the students, right?
Yeah.
But the thing, a lot of people I can't tell you how kind of issues that I have to deal with. I've had people that would say, I'm the one that is the auditor, but I'm the student. My wife has never worked before. My wife is a hairstylist. She's the one that is available to work. Now they've wasted the dependent. I mean, but it's not totally a waste, because some of them, the wives will now do health and care visa. And so a lot of people, is the wives or the people that are doing the health and care that switch the whole family to sponsorship jobs, which is why I said that keep that option open as well. If the part-time job you also do while you're in the UK must also be, if it's care, there's nothing wrong with care and using care to get sponsorship. In fact, I advise my people that if you get a sponsorship job in care that would offer you sponsorship, or if you get a job that will offer you sponsorship in care and you feel that you have less potential in other fields, please take it. If you have passion for something else, once you are settled in that care, let's say you're even doing nights, after like a few months or this thing, you can maybe start doing nights. I don't know. You can still get like a part-time job in the field you're really passionate about, so that you don't lose that touch. You know, you can get like a 1 day a week role in the field you're really passionate about, and before you know it, is, to be honest, most of people that are in this country, because I have lots of, because based on the fact that where I came to this country, I have lots of people that are in my network are people that have been in this country for 20, 30 years. And if they tell you their immigration
history,
God, if they tell you their immigration story, you would say in Yoruba the way they say, and yo. Some of them, they left, you know, because they came when there was no defined routes. Some of them came, you know, they came illegally or something, and they had to work their way through menial jobs for so many years, you know, while they had big potential. So even if it's just 5 years that you have to do whatever it is that you have to do, it's still a strategy, still a plan. Within that 5 years, you could get a job, or the partner could get a job that would switch both of you to, I mean, I've seen some partners too that would say, my wife got sponsorship job, me too, I want to make sure I get sponsorship, even though I always want
why would I stress myself?
Stories about my wife got sponsorship job, me too, I made sure that I got sponsorship job, that I don't want to depend on my wife. And I'm like I said, 1 year. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. So as a dependent, right, from the day one you land, like let's say you've now made the decision that's okay, my husband has been the one working in a bank, or my husband has been the one as an auditor, my husband, whatever field, right, that you feel that has that potential, right? Can you hear me? Someone said no sound.
Clearly, I can hear you clearly.
So let's say that you've decided that field and that partner that has potential to work is, so from the moment you guys know that you're also coming to the UK, be proactive. Everything you need to, let's say you want to transition. Let's even say both of you are not in a field that has, it still does not end there. Life is flexible. Change is the only permanent thing. You need to be proactive such that you are not landing in the UK and wasting the first 6 months of not knowing what to do, because every minute counts. This is a time-based. Most of the visas are time-based, right?
Yeah.
So the moment the dependents, right, gets into the UK, the dependents need to start playing that game that I mentioned now for post-study from day one. First 6 months as a dependent, get a job in the UK in the desired field. Let's now say that, oh, I worked till the last day before I resigned, because such is me. Before I resigned my job in Nigeria, I worked till the last day. So let's say that is your case. It still does not spoil. When you get here, give yourself 3 months to, let's say you want to switch, you want to take a boot camp, you want to train, you want to upskill, whatever it is you want to do, give yourself time that, okay, in the first 3 months, I would use the first 3 months to learn this. And then after that, I'm putting myself out there. But give the first 6 months, get a job in the field that has that potential to sponsor you for the job. And after that first 6 months, start strategizing for sponsorship. There are loads of people that transited to skilled worker visa through their partners. So, but you have to plan. And anyway, let's not forget the students. The student is also an option for the family. So the student also needs to strategize. The student also needs to strategize. So I mean, it's all because at the end of the day, nobody wants to go back home. There are lots of people that will chat me, my post-study visa is expiring next month, and then they'll not put pressure on me. Like, I'm sorry, my father does not
give us sponsorship.
Does not give out sponsorship, So yeah, I mean, it's all about being strategic, having the necessary skill, understanding the job markets, and leveraging your skills and all that. I don't know if I answered that question or if I've
you did. And what I could gather from what you said was that planning is really important if you want to switch to your tier 2. Then another thing which you said that is very vital is that the post-study work visa is also an option. If you did not get it right during your 1 year of studying in the UK for your master's degree, breathe. It's okay. Calm down.
Honestly, not even good to use the word get it right, because it's not their fault that they can't work.
Yeah. There's a lot, like working to even pay your tuition fee. Where do you want to have time? When
not everybody get a job.
Yes.
Really, that's why I said even the part-time job you do. I know a lot of people don't enjoy care jobs and all that, but there are lots of people who have also become senior carers. I know people that in my network who are area managers, senior managers, registered managers in care home, who are even co-partners and co-founders of their own care homes now, and they all started from being a carer as well. So don't close your eye to any opportunity or any what would I call it now, career path. It can also be an opportunity for you to get to your desired destination.
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much. Wow, that has been so powerful. Moving on to the third question now, which I even think you've answered again. Top tips for getting jobs in the UK generally, whether or not you're looking for sponsorship, whether or not you're back home, you want to get a job in the UK. What do you think one should look out for based on your experience with dealing with people?
So yeah, if you want to work in the UK job market, you need to be open to network. You need to be open to network. You need to be open to reach out first, right? Don't always expect that. Don't always expect that. Just applying to jobs does not just do it, right? Because I've found that jobs where they reach out to you have higher success rates than the ones you just randomly apply to. And then, don't let's forget that in the UK, they coin out roles from like they could coin out.
You see some job description like
roles that you see, transformation financial analyst, and you'll be like,
wow, by transforming.
Someone that has worked on the business transformation, and sometimes they, and that's what I tell my clients. I tell people that I talk to on a one-to-one basis that we need to, that experience you are bringing from home is very relevant. Don't throw it away. You just need to look for how to interpret it. Find a niche, your skill that you have. You see, that customer care experience plus financial whatever experience all put together, they are relevant, because from customer care experience you get stakeholder management, you get people management or whatever. However, you might not want to call those job titles customer service, right, or whatever, but just be able to identify those transferable skills that you can put together to create a solid brand out of yourself. And that's why I tell people that you are coming from, and I also support people that are also transitioning to new fields, right? Say you are an admin person, you're transitioning to project management. That your admin experience is really relevant. There are some companies that what they're looking for is admin project manager put together like that. Project manager that has admin experience. Some are looking for project manager that has finance experience, and they will coin out a role out of it. And when they look at your CV, you're an accountant in Nigeria, and then you took a project management course, and then you've done your CV to blend the two together, and they'll be like, this is the perfect person that we're looking for. So if you're coming to look for a job in the UK, first of all, rebrand. Of course, you can't bring because a lot of people don't work on CVs in Nigeria. Most people don't get jobs based on CVs in Nigeria.
Yeah, we know how that's not how it works.
Yeah. But you know that the way it works, you've already gotten the job before they say, okay, oh yeah, send your CV.
Send your CV.
Or you already spoken to the person that would look at the CV before, oh yeah, send your CV. But like I said, the CV, the LinkedIn profile, is a very important tool beyond just even looking for a job. It is you. It is what represents you to recruiters, to employers. It's what sends you from Nigeria to the UK. Is what represents you in the UK while you are in Nigeria, or while you are in school in the UK, or wherever you might be. Your CV, your LinkedIn profile are what represents you. So you need to work on your brand, and then you need to be ready to network. You need to be ready to reach out to recruiters. You need to be free to speak to recruiters. You need to be free to negotiate with recruiters, talk to them, ask them what you want, and ask them what you want. And I mean, even when negotiating salaries or benefits, you need to be open to say whatever it is your preference are. If you're looking for hybrid, tell the recruiter, sorry, I can't do full time. I'm looking for hybrid, or at the moment, my priority is this. Is what my priority is. The UK is very open. Like my first two, I remember when I finished, because immediately I finished school, I wasn't able to work immediately. I had a baby immediately, so I had another 1 year gap, even though I was ready to work from immediately. And when I was ready to start applying to jobs, I used to put pressure on myself. The way coming from, I have to disturb my husband. You have to be at home today. And when you're having back to back, is it every day I will not go to work because you're having everyday interview? But the first two jobs that I got, my son was in the first interview. My baby, we did the interview together. And that's how flexible they are. Not all companies, of course, but the company and the two jobs, I got them. So those particular two jobs, I got those jobs. So just be open-minded, network, leverage your network, leverage on, relationships to get jobs. And yeah, that's basically it, to be honest. If your brand and your LinkedIn is on point, recruiters would reach out to you, and then without applying for jobs, you start getting interviews, and then you land your desired jobs.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much for that. And another thing I'll take home is the fact that you have to be ready for the job market. It's not just about applying to 100 jobs with one CV and not knowing what to do. You have to
Yeah, I did mention that you have to. You definitely. That's why I said even if you are transitioning, you have to look for a way to create a solid brand. But yeah, let me specifically say it. You can't use even if you, let's say, even for my clients, for instance, now that have optimized their brand for a particular role, right, or their CV for a particular role, even when applying to different jobs in that specific role, because they might call a role, for instance, now, let me use financial analyst now, but some financial, they want you to have financial modeling, they want you to have some tools or some skills, because each company, like I said, companies want to get that perfect person that would have all those skills. Now, I want to hire a content writer, but my company, right, I need someone. I'm using a field that probably we can all relate with. I don't have a graphic designer, and I don't have a I don't have a video editor. But the role I want going on, the main work of the person is content writer. But because what I need someone. So I will now need a content writer that has graphic experience as well as video editing experience. I don't know if it gets me.
Yes, yes, I do.
CV that I see all those things is the person I would pick, because it's the person.
Because that's what you want. Yes.
So when you look, and I would have put it in my job description that the person must have video editing experience. The person must have. So let's just use that to like understand it, that company too that you want to apply to, they've said what is paying them, Gongo. They've put it on the job. You need to also put those things. Even if you've done your CV, you've done your CV, you still need to put some keywords in probably your summary or some parts of your CV from the job description you're applying to. So let's now say you didn't even optimize your brand. You have row 1, customer service, row 2, admin officer, row 3, project manager, row 4, business analyst. You now want to apply for a job. They won't understand what, because
exactly.
I relate. It's in Nigeria that we are generalists. That you probably, your role will be admin, and you'll be the one to HR. You'll be the one to do finance. You'll be the one to do this. They can't really understand that. Even when I do CVs for people that have audit and finance analysis experience, when I sometimes refer them to recruiters, the recruiters will say they still need to talk to them to know which one they really want to do, whether it's audits and that's still finance. Now imagine when you now put
everything,
plus admin, they will just be wondering which one. They'll be like, this person is not committed. Tomorrow, the person might probably want to go into aviation.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so that's basically how they think, how recruiters think here.
Wow. Someone said too much wisdom, and I couldn't agree less. Like, you shared so much, as if this was a paid session, and I ain't paying no dime. And thank you so much for just dishing out all the wisdom back to back. You've answered all the questions I was sent in, and now I'm going to be taking questions from the audience before we end this live. I thought it was going to be 30 minutes, and here we are, 46 minutes into the session, and it's like we just started. I don't even want it to stop, because you are truly dishing too much wisdom, like someone said. Thank you so much. I am honored, and I'm so grateful for this. So I'll be coming to like the comment section to just check questions. Okay, someone said, how do I reach out to recruiters? I think you've mentioned this though.
Yeah, to reach out to recruiters is easy. Just find recruiters in your, you find recruiters in your field or in your location, and then you send them, I think you need to connect with them. So first of all, start from connecting. Connect with as much recruiters, because if you don't have premium, LinkedIn premium, you won't be able to send mails to people you have not connected to. So you need to connect with recruiters in your desired or target field or target location, and then you send them a mail. How do you send them a mail? On my page, I have lots of templates to reach out.
So please visit our page, Life Career UK or RKY Careers.
Yes, to reach out to recruiters, to reach out to current staff of companies that you have intention to work with. Like, send them a mail, for instance, like, hi, I saw your most recent, if they made a post about a job, so I saw your most recent post, or I was searching for recruiters in projects management or in London, and I found your content to be really insightful. I'm a postgraduate student, or I've graduated and I've just graduated. Just mention your skills. I'm proficient in Excel, Gantt charts, Lucid charts, mention all the tools, just sell yourself, right? And I'm currently seeking opportunities, or probably even in the first place, just say you're just looking to connect. When they respond to you, after the first response, then you tell them, do they have roles that they are recruiting for in your field, or you are currently seeking opportunities in this particular field? To be honest, recruiters are also looking for people. Recruiters are having a headache, because I connect with loads of recruiters. They're always complaining of few positions. In fact, I have a couple of recruiters that I also tell that the reason why that is happening is because companies are not as willing to sponsor as they should. The government actually created this sponsorship to solve the problem of Brexit, to solve the impact that Brexit has on whatever. But the thing, companies too, they have the cons they believe that this sponsorship has. You know, lots of them feel that they would have offered someone sponsorship and the person would not be able to even deliver the job right. So, but the thing is that I have a couple of recruiters too who are working on the side of their own clients, who are the companies, to make them to be open to offer sponsorship to more candidates. So the thing is, they will tell you that although they didn't advertise that this job is offering sponsorship, but if they have a candidate that is strong enough, their companies will offer sponsorship for this. So they also have a headache trying to fill this thing. If you follow recruiters, if you see their content, because they're content creators as well on LinkedIn, they're always complaining about trying to fill positions. So yeah, that's basically.
Wow. Someone is saying that, is there age limit challenge with career or sponsorship in the UK?
Okay, that's a very fantastic advantage that the UK job market has. Because I remember back in Nigeria, you know, if you want to get like entry-level job in some companies, for instance, banks now that are perceived to be the highest paying jobs, right? Even if you have first of all, they'll say you have to have first class. Then they'll say you have to be below 25 or 26. So if you have first class and you're below 26, you might not get the job. However, to God be the glory, it's not that way in the UK.
Yeah.
People 50, they get entry-level jobs. When I was doing my master's, there were people that were PhD holders that also came to do that master's with me. Like I said, my own intention was not to transition and start all over again. So I knew that I was only picking some skills from my course, adding it to my finance, putting it all together, you know. But some people decided to go and become a data analyst. There were some people that had PhD that were like over close to 40. And there was a lady, she got a graduate data analyst job with Royal Bank of Scotland, right? So there's no age limit. Either as entry level or a mid-level hire, there's no age limit. However, because I know that I've said there's no age limit now, because there were some people too that were in my DM. My dad is 62, he's agile and active and wants to work in the UK. It's not advisable for a 60 years old man to try to trying to get a job in the UK is stressful. You don't want to stress your dad. You don't want to stress, you know, except you probably have a particular slot for them or something. You don't want to stress them to be going through interviews and getting rejections. But to be honest, there's no age limit. Even 60 years old people get jobs in the UK if they don't have to go through the hassle of sponsorship.
So yeah, speaking of rejection, someone just said, how do you handle rejection? Do you stop or just keep going?
How do you handle rejections? Please don't stop. Keep going. Because I mean, everybody has a story to tell. There's nobody that is working in. I mean, but to be honest, some people are lucky because, to be honest, there are some clients I've worked with that even had it better than me. There's a client I worked with that her first week in the UK, she got her first sponsorship job. She got 2 sponsorship jobs in her first week in the UK, and she got another job. Someone like that will not have story to tell about rejection. But I personally, I have story to tell about rejections. I've had interview processes that I even made it to the end. I was the only one that passed the technical stage. I made it to the last stage. I met with the MD or whatever. I felt that I'd already, even just before that particular last interview, the recruiter was telling me that the last stage is just formality and all that. And I still didn't get the job. So, I mean, at that point, I'd already got, you know, there's some rejections you get that won't hit you. But there are some rejections you get that I took a break from applying. I took a break from applying for a while. And then by the time I got ready and went back again, the next 2 jobs I applied to, I got the 2 back to back. And I even had to leave a job in 3 weeks to resume.
Because it was a better role.
Yeah, exactly. So don't give up, right? You can take a break, to be honest, because your mental health is important too. But don't give up. Just get it right from the start. And if, for instance, now your LinkedIn and all that are in place, even when you are not applying, recruiters will still come to ask you about job opportunities. So don't give up, please. There are lots of rejections. I read people's testimonies and I hear I had 100 rejection. All you need is that 1 yes. And once you get that 1 yes, to be honest,
multiple years,
yeah, you could even get multiple. You won't remember all the rejections again. Now I can tell the story of my rejections as a story now. But at that time it was happening to me, to be honest. I know how you feel. I was feeling that way as well.